YouTube. And to my 2 subscribers, very good day. I'm going to say blessed risings, but because people say good morning a lot, and as far as I know, that's got to do with mourning the dead, or good morning of the dead for that day, to you, because we're all dead, legally speaking, or legalese, whatever that is. That's why we need licenses, like a car license and a license to fly a drone, or a license for anything, because only the dead have license. I will link a fantastic video about that, which is Romley Stewart. Fantastic, really good stuff. I urge you to look at his stuff about birth certificates and what we are here. We only operate as entities created on our birth certificate, which is the surname. The surname, that's why when police pull you over, they ask you to provide a driver's license or something with your surname, which is the slave name. On your birth certificate there are 2 names. One is your free name, which is your first name and second name, or your clan name. In Portuguese we still got that in our names. My name in Portuguese is Romley de Nóbrega. Now de Nóbrega is of the clan of the Nóbrega, and that's my free name, João of the Nóbrega. And there's a similar sort of thing in English, that kind of thing. And they're old clan names basically, and that's your free name. That's the name you were born with and stuff. But what they do in your birth certificate is create another entity, and that's the entity that pays tax and gets the penalty points and gets owns up to being the entity when it goes to court. And that's why the judges wear black, because they mourn the dead, because you've just told them that you're the dead man walking. And that's why they wear black. Okay. Romley Stewart. The real point of this video is really just to get a few things off my chest. I'm going to ramble and let also you guys know, anybody who wants to listen, to people searching for the truth. If you're searching, you might find me, or a video will find you. Understand that we are experiencing one of many realms existing simultaneously here. I don't know how we got to that, but frequencies, energy, does the sound barrier take us into a new dimension? I don't know. That's a good question. Let me know if you guys have anyone researched why is it that some of us are experiencing different dimensions in this dimension, myself included. I'll tell you about that. It was late summer 2016, and I pondered for quite some weeks about reasons for being here. Well, that came after, because you can't find them. Well, I couldn't, at least. In this place, in this format, in this form. It's a trap, okay? Anyway, so I'd come to this realisation. We have these truthers. It was one of those bendy ones, the ones that really froze you up, froze everything out the window. And that's another thing you've got to, when you take a fresh look at everything, you know, everything, only then can you start to piece the truth together. Because you probably you investigate what you think you know, and you most likely understand that it's incorrect. And that's a really difficult thing to keep doing. But I get to my point. There's 2 points to this actually. I was going to make a carry, and I was going to do that while we're talking, and I was going to just ramble on. Summer of 2016, late summer, I concluded that for very complex reasons, and I'm sure some of you will understand this, and others will obviously just think I'm bonkers, move on, watch something else. That there was a dimension existing within this one, or vice versa, whatever. And I was feeling some sort of connection to it, but it was an emptiness. So I can't quite remember what led me there, but for some weeks. So look, roughly I concluded, and don't take this the wrong way, that I was going to leave this realm and go to whatever I seemed to be. I knew there was something else, and I knew that all of this. I got to a point that I knew that all of this was a deception, and it's much deeper than even us truthers understand it to be. I mean, you know, because I don't think we're ever going to actually be capable of realising where we are, because they've done that good a job at changing us into something we're not, or maybe this is what we are, and they're pretending we're something else. But believe me, whatever you think it is, it ain't, and it's most likely the reverse. But anyway, that afternoon, some days before that, a friend of mine said something really silly, like it wasn't silly, but it was Charlotte. Charlotte's a great flat earther, an inspiration, and a great friend. Quite possibly the most intelligent person I know. Certainly one. It's great to know people like that. Anyway, she is head of the Flat Earth in Birmingham, and if you want to check that out, I'll post a link to it in the description, which I'm going to have to keep doing, because all this is about getting people together and getting people more awake. So I decided that afternoon I was going to leave this realm, i.e. terminate my existence here myself. It's quite simple, believe me. And that wasn't a concern for me at all. I'm not depressed. It's not suicidal, and it's understanding something and believing it. So I won't say blindly, but maybe that's the best word for it. That I was prepared to bet my life on it. And I'm not a betting man. I'm, not interested in horses or anything like that. But this wasn't a gamble. Didn't feel like it. So, and then Charlotte, but it popped into my head something Charlotte had said some days later. She said, "John, if you're so eager for the truth, let's check this is recorded." Yeah, it is. Sorry, I missed this. She said, if you understand this, and I explained it, I'm not going to do that now, but her conclusion was, why don't you just ask? I thought, wow, that really hadn't occurred to me before. Just ask for the truth. Well, as crazy as it sounds, that afternoon, in my garden, just outside here, standing on the decking, I'll show you the decking if you like, I might show you around. But I was just standing out here, looked up at the sky in roughly that direction. If I was standing there, I was kind of looking up there. Kind of up there, really. I said, I know you're there. Show me the truth. And, would you believe, you're not going to believe this bit, But as clear as that cloud, what appeared in front of me was an enormous city of what appeared to be hexagonal crystals, some of it. Only saw the bottom half. It seemed like there were buildings, very large buildings, and then there were even humongous type hectagonal, pinkish, crystallized kind of structures. And as the sun moved, or the clouds kind of moved around, around it, it created made the crystals brighten, and there were shadows. So it was obviously something reacting in this dimension, reacting to things in this dimension. Reacted to the clouds that were real, that were there before this thing appeared. It was pretty far away, but I could tell it's a very big piece of something that I was seeing, like half the size of London, for example, maybe a quarter of the size of London, whatever. But the structures behind it were just staggering, fantastical size. I looked at this structure, and I've written about this. I post a link to it. I'll put it on Google Drive and share it with you if you like and hear it. It's a pretty lame explanation for it all, to be honest. Well, I only mention it there, but actually that PDF is about something else, which I'll mention in a minute. So there I stood there for a good 15-20 seconds. What goes through a guy's head when something like that happens? Disbelief. Not disbelief. Disbelief isn't one of those words I would use. But it was certainly mind-blowing. Anyway, this really actually happened. And at that point, I decided that I wasn't going to leave, that I was going to understand more about this realm and maybe find other ways of communicating or seeing what else was out there. It proved to me that what I was feeling, what I was about to bet my life on, was true, was right. I wasn't about to kill myself, but I really concluded that may well have been the only way to know. So I don't think we can be there. That this flesh and bones maybe traps us in this single realm, in this realm of material. And as we know, even this, we struggle to quantify. Even greater scientists, as flat earthers, we call them scientists, but those idiots at NASA and whatnot struggle to tell you that this is actually here. So as this must be an illusion, all of it, it doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. Nothing changes. I don't expect anything to change, really. Hopefully I'll somehow transform into my form, my actual form, and this probably isn't it. Anyway, well, that was that. At that point, I decided to plug away and see what else could happen. Mind you. So then about 9 months after that time, and it was a beautiful time. I mean, struggled up and down. But I went to the grand finale of the Flat Earth Tour in North London. Robin Campbell, I'll post a link to his channel, and he's involved in the European tour, the Flat Earth Tour coming up. There's so much going on. There's one in the UK very shortly, one in Amsterdam, and then the rest of Europe, I think about 17 countries. So look out for that. There is an awakening happening. Hallelujah. And so at this meeting, afterwards, in the car park, I found Ferdy. Well, we found each other. I told him I was looking to ayahuasca to try and communicate with this another realm at least, because any realm would do. I really, couldn't care less. I wanted to get serious. I heard ayahuasca was great. It's very consistent what they talk about. But then he mentioned to me something he'd been working with for a long time called mimosa. And as you may know, the Mexicans, it's quite an ancient plant. It's called the healing plant, the truth plant. Over here, the kids love it because it reacts to touch and things like this, and that's how dumb. That's as much as they're going to tell the children about that plant. You see, that's the level of intelligence they give us. Yeah. It's about an accurate, kind of measure of what everything else is. Anyway, and so yeah, before long, I had an mimosa ceremony with Ferdy. He probably doesn't want me to mention his name. It's not a code name. Sorry, Ferdy. I'm sure people aren't going to really But at that point, we had a great conversation with an entity in another realm who explained to me, dude, chill out. You are right. We're going to fix you up a little bit and send you on your way. And that's kind of what happened. But what was shown to me that evening was, as we suspected, we're trapped in a frequency, in a standing wave, if you like, I suppose. And when you change your frequency, you can then travel outside of you're not trapped anymore. And it seems like mimosa, if it's meant to be, someone from another realm will come to get you once you're in the right frequency, and they will show you how to travel, what you need to do, which is highly complicated, but you manage to do it very quickly with their instruction. And as long as you can do that, you've got a first class ticket, baby. And yeah, it's an interesting journey. It's quite rapid. But yeah, I forgot what the point of this video was now. Realms, reality, none of this, I'm not saying that none of this is real. That's exactly what I'm saying. But let's not mix up the words. I mean, real, what is real? Then we have a debate about that terminology. It means something different to me and to a lot of other people, I'd imagine. What's real doesn't really encompass anything here. Okay. What comes from inside us, when we give to other people, when we have a connection with others, that's probably real. Or at least it's real in another dimension, like it's a dual dimension thing. There are things that can be, what's the word, can work. You can make work. You have the mechanisms to make work in another dimension. I don't know, maybe they didn't take it all out of us, who knows. Maybe it's impossible to remove that part. Who knows? It's quite possible. A lot of us, we're already genetically modified. There's a good argument for that. There's lots of stuff around that may suggest that we've been genetically modified. Seriously, guys. Like, they created us, then they created a dog for us, man's best friend and all this. Like dogs ever existed before. Doesn't seem to be any connection between wild dogs and the dogs that we have at home. No connection at all. But they have us believe that we come from monkeys as well. See a pattern forming here, guys? Yeah. dwarves, dogs, monkeys, humans. Yeah, no connection. Other than the fact that we were probably all built by the same thing. That's our only commonality. But we did not evolve from one to the other. That's obviously nonsense. Because you don't evolve into a different species, do you? Anyway, not the evolution that makes any sense, it's absolute nonsense. And, I guess environmental changes, adaptations are correct, but evolution into a different species. Pull the other one, guys. Come on. Give us a fucking break. Anyway, I think that's what there is for this video. More importantly though, check out all the links for Charlotte, Robin, the Flat Earth Tour stuff that's going on. And there's this great video I came across recently. I haven't seen this YouTuber before. Someone kind of recommended it, of course. I've only watched 10 minutes of her first video, but bloody brilliant. Total different reality stuff. So if you're not searching, don't bother. If you are, good luck. And don't ever give up.